LeBron James, Anthony Davis going up against Steph Curry and Draymond Green. And really, for most people out there, it's Steph versus LeBron. Steph Curry putting forth one of the all-time great scoring seasons in the history of the NBA, still without Klay Thompson, but finding a way. Right now, by the way, the Lakers are around a 4.5-point favorite in that game on Wednesday, and that is what I would say the game that is sucking up like 90%, maybe even 95% of the interest in this play-in scenario. Now, I actually think this would be wildly more entertaining if this was a winner-take-all scenario. If we had an NCAA tournament-style situation where whoever wins this game, Lakers or Warriors, the other team is out. That's not what we've got going on tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern, when this game tips. But there is a great deal of pressure on whoever loses this game, because then they would have to play the winner of the Grizz and the Spurs, and the Grizz are favored in that game. And you would have to play in a couple of days later another, that would be a winner-take-all game. So the pressure gets ratcheted up to a massive degree based on whatever happens in this game between the 7 and the 8 seed so far. And whoever ends up the 7 seed gets a few days to kind of kick their feet up, chill, relax, and get ready for the actual start of the NBA playoffs, whereas the team that loses then has to travel to a new location, potentially, get ready for that game between the 8 and the 9 or the 10 for the 8 seed. So this is a new scenario. A lot of people still getting used to it. The Eastern Conference in the NBA, I feel like there is massively less interest in it. But tonight at 6:30 Eastern, right in the middle of when I will be coaching Little League Baseball. By the way, this is the 5th Little League Baseball game we've had in 6 days. I feel like I'm in major leagues right now. 5 baseball games in 6 days. I mean, we're having to count pitches. We're having to analyze how many innings can a kid give us. I feel like I'm in the postseason in Major League Baseball here, tracking how many pitches everybody can throw. When are they going to be able to pitch again? If we win, we come back and we play on Tuesday. That'll be 6 games in 7 days. I mean, we got like 8 pitchers that we're having to toss out there now. So anyway, I'm in the middle of Little League Baseball, so I won't be watching most of these games that are going on live. But the Hornets and the Pacers are around a 3-point favorite, and then we got Wizards-Celtics as the night game. The Boston Celtics, small favorite, been disappointing all year. Russell Westbrook and the Wizards have, I think it's fair to say, been an impressive team so far in terms of relative to expectations. The Wizards being able to play head-to-head against the Celtics with a chance to lock up the overall number 7 seed. So that is where we are going in the NBA. I'm curious whether this little play-in scenario catches on any kind of excitement. To me, again, the one change that I would potentially want to make is if both of these games were winner take all, I think that would be a little bit more entertaining. And if that were going to be the case, to me, the 7 should get to play the 10 and the 8 should play the 9. There's not double elimination scenarios at play. It's just a one-game take-all. Dub, don't you think that's a more entertaining potential outcome? If you had right now the Lakers going up against the Spurs, winner is in, loser is out, and then you had Warriors going up, and I'm using the West obviously here, and then you had the Warriors going up against the Grizz, winner is in, loser is out. Wouldn't that one-game scenario be more interesting to you? And then, by the way, you would have in the East, just to kind of put this into context, this is the change that I would make if they came to me and they asked about this idea. I would say, hey, let's get the Celtics, who would be going up against, I guess it would be the Hornets, and then you would have the Pacers, whatever the scenario is. The Pacers would be the 10. 7, 10, 8, 9, one-game elimination. You only play 4 games here. I like that idea better than the way it's currently classified.
Yeah, I think the single elimination aspect makes it that much more fun, and it would certainly be of great interest on this very show if the Lakers and Spurs were playing on Wednesday night, one-game elimination, the winner moving on to the playoffs, the loser going home. That would
because
be
anything can happen in a one-game scenario in basketball, and I just think that would be wildly more entertaining, and I would imagine people would be more bought in. And obviously you've got Steph against LeBron, which is probably the best possible matchup that they could hope for in the NBA right now. So that helps on Wednesday night to draw some attention into this event. But then I feel as if it will be very anticlimactic when it's Steph against either the Spurs or the Grizz, or LeBron against the Spurs or the Grizz. That game is just going to feel like it has a lot less juice, even though it'll be an official elimination game. I feel like all of the oxygen is getting soaked up by Lakers-Warriors.
Yeah, that Lakers-Warriors game is obviously the key game here. But, I mean, I think you're right. If single elimination, it could be a little NBA May Madness, if you will, heading into the real playoffs. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
We're talking, by the way, about the May Madness, which I think is well said, and whether this will continue in the 72-game season. I think that's why they decided to expand things a little bit more instead of the 82-game season. And I just think it's really intriguing, big picture question. I'm interested to see how many people will watch the NBA playoffs this year compared to last year when the bottom fell out of the NBA playoff rankings. And frankly, it hasn't returned in the regular season this year. The numbers have gotten even worse. And if you want to compare them with a non-COVID year, I got the numbers. Compared to 2019, which is the last full season, the NBA is down 25% versus 2019 in terms of the overall audience. And that's a pretty easy comparison pre-COVID to this season. And a lot of things are up fairly substantially versus 2019. NASCAR is up a lot versus 2019. The NFL draft, the Preakness, there's no real excuse. I talked to some sports rating guys out there. No real excuse for being down versus 2019 because 2019 was the last year where there was no major COVID issues. Now, 2020, the bubble and everything else, I think they've got to be nervous, Adam Silver and company do, because the spin they put on it last year was, well, this is the bubble season. When we get back to normalcy, there'll be a lot more interest in the league, and that's not the case. You just heard me say, compared to 2019, they're down 25%. That's pretty massive. They're down 13% from last year in the crazy COVID year. And I really wonder, Dub, you've started to see it, like how active people are out at bars, out at restaurants, going to the beach, going to the mountains, traveling to visit friends. I feel like we're going to see a frenzy of travel this summer, and it's already starting to pick up, travel and entertainment. And so I wonder how much, and I think this could impact the Olympics as well, I wonder how much people are going to be in their houses sitting down in front of sporting events during the course of this summer. And again, I think it could impact the Olympics in a big way in July as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's going to be, I mean, obviously last summer there was a lot more people on their couch watching television than a normal year.
Desperate to be entertained.
Exactly. And now things are opening up all across the country. It's not just in certain places in the United States. It's pretty much all over across the map. Things are going to be pretty much wide open come June or July, which is the home stretch of the NBA playoffs. And I think there's going to be more people out and about than, especially last year, than sitting on the couch watching TV. So I think this could be a big issue for the NBA in terms of all the ratings they might get.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt.